This Friday on the Radio 5 live show, our special guest is Daniel Radcliffe, who's coming in to talk about his new film, The Woman in Black. Now, you're probably aware The Woman in Black is an adaptation of a novel by Susan Hill, which then became a very famous stage play, which also turned up on television. And it's very much an old-fashioned ghostly chiller. It's one of those movies that doesn't rely on shocks and gore and extreme violence. It's absolutely a work of suggestion, and it attempts to send shivers up and down your spine rather than make you jump out of your seat. And of course it ties into a great wave of those movies which have done very well alongside the more overt torture porn and violence that has pretty much infested the horror genre so much recently. I mean, you think about movies like The Orphanage, which for me was one of the very finest films of a couple of years ago, with a fantastic central performance by Belle Rueda. You think of the others, the Nicole Kidman movie, which again was a ghostly story, all based on suggestion and the creaks and shadows of the mind rather than big jumps and gory shocks. And obviously all of these have their roots in the Robert Wise film The Haunting, which is adapted from The Haunting of Hill House, which for me is one of the finest horror novels ever written. The real joy of that film was that it was all about what you didn't see, all about what you didn't know, all about what the filmmakers didn't show you. In fact, for me, one of the scariest sequences in that film is when our heroine is on one side of a door and something terrible is or may be on the other side of the door, but you never see what it is or what it might not be at all. Maybe it's nothing. And it started me thinking that a while ago we did a thing here on the blog, which is, what's the scariest thing you've ever seen? What's the scariest monster you've ever seen? Which monster really frightens you and why? But having seen The Woman in Black, I want to ask a slightly different question. What's the most chilling scene from a movie you've ever seen? Not the thing that made you jump, not the thing that made you, scream, not the thing that made you feel like you wanted to vomit. What's the thing that really chilled you? And let me start the ball rolling. There's a sequence in Hideo Nakata's wonderful movie, Dark Water, in which a mother is cradling what she believes to be her child. And then we see that actually it might not be her child at all. And there's just a moment as the mother realizes that what she's holding may not be what she thinks. That remains one of the most chilling things I've ever seen in the cinema. So, not what scared you, not what frightened you, not what grossed you out, what really chilled you and why?